Hello everyone and welcome back to Golden Chips, featuring our now moustacheless friend George. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's always good to be back. Always feels great. How about you, man?
The lack of facial hair, the lack of...
I know. The thing is, obviously, when I grow mine, I can't really tweak it as such. So it's either full send or goodbye. And it was getting a bit out of control. I was like, I don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of it.
Do you not have like a trimmer? Do you not have like a trimmer? Because I've got
straight off.
I've got a trimmer. I set it to like a 3. I've got like a 3 bracket on it. I have once over. It's all even. Nice.
I have a shaver thing, but it just gets rid of all of it. I can't tweak. I can't like tamper with it. It just does its thing.
Fair play.
But
fair play.
Yeah. But yeah, no. How you been? Like, I mean, I've obviously had a midlife crisis and got rid of what sort of I think people think is quite iconic in my face. It's gone now.
I mean, in fairness, you've had your face cam for what, 1 episode that you've been on, so.
Oh yeah,
anything's fair game. Right. Anything's fair game.
Yeah. It'll come back. Something else will change.
Yeah, you're gonna have.
I've no hair.
You have like a pink inflatable flamingo in the background or something, or neon lights or whatever.
Don't tempt me. I need to order some things on Amazon. Don't tempt me.
Oh god, no. Did you ever get the PC sorted, like with storage and stuff?
No. The was it now? We were like a trilogy now at this point. I found it probably like a season finale.
Gotta keep the meme going, bro. Every episode, you gotta keep the meme.
No, I unfortunately still need to get the parts. Basically, it's storage. That's all I need. I just need to work out what storage that is and the best one to have. Really, like I'm easy. It's just working out the best one, really.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I'll get it done. I'll get it sorted.
Yeah, I only asked because I was sorting through all of my files because my files are an absolute mess. I've got 10 terabytes of storage, but all that's happened as a result is that I've become a lazy bastard when it comes to all my files. It's just
100%.
Sprinkle a bit there, sprinkle a bit there. But, so I'm just sorting through it today.
Mine's a shambles.
But no, honestly. I was just sorting through it today because I want to clear my D drive. Because I'm thinking of retiring it and swapping it for another like big one, or just like getting an SSD and just sort of relying on that as just purely scratch drive, as in like one that stays empty for editing.
Yeah.
But even so, I was going through all those files and I was just thinking, oh yeah, George needed some storage, didn't he? Funny that.
Yeah, well, true, I do. Yeah. But it's one of those things I think as well where it's like. It just caught up to me. Like I was doing really well, and somehow it's just caught up to me. I think it's all the small files. That's what's doing it, and it doesn't help that like at one point. Oh, what's my biggest file? I have to quickly find out. Hold on.
It's gonna take you a hot minute to find it.
No. Like honestly, I think like when it comes to what's on, because what it is, it's on the like you said SSD. That's what it's on. Yeah. That's the problem. That's where everything is.
Yeah.
Actually, no. That's where everything isn't. That's what I meant. But what the issue is trying to get everything from the local disk all the way over. But it's sort of they've done storage themselves, if that makes sense. And the issue that I found is like it's trying to find everything now.
It's trying to hunt it down. I literally had that problem today. So it's like I was in the process of migrating.
It's so annoying, man.
I was migrating all of my Steam games, and for some reason, Rocket League is the one game that just refuses to play ball. So I migrated it over to my big drive.
I know exactly how that feels.
But the workshop, it's like the Steam Workshop items decided, nah, I'm staying on the D drive, mate.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Steam Workshop just hate me. They don't want to play ball, as you've said. Like I've tried to move like just a simple gigabyte game over to out of the SSD into the D, and it's like, no, I'm staying in the SSD now. It's like, but please, I want it the other way round. You're crashing.
I'll buy you a cola.
I'll buy you a Pepsi. Is Pepsi okay? But no, like for sure, I don't know. I know what the solution is, and if that doesn't work, then I shouldn't be allowed near computers. I think that's how it has to be because I've done something wrong again to a computer. But no, I think it's fine. It is literally down to the storage because it just keeps crashing because it's not a direct like file it's finding. It has to go onto the SSD and find it. It's just struggling because there's barely anything on the SSD, but there's loads on the D drive.
Yeah,
or C drive.
I literally upgraded my parts the other day. I was trying to stream. You're gonna love this story. I was trying to stream modded Minecraft, and as we all know, Minecraft will bring any computer to its knees if you push it hard enough.
100%.
It's the ultimate test.
Oh yeah, you can ruin a computer with just Minecraft and with vanilla Minecraft if you really wanted to. It doesn't take much.
Yeah. So I was trying to run modded Minecraft, and it's like my custom pack that I play on live stream it's pretty heavy. Like it's not as crazy as some other mods. Like some mod packs have like 300 plus. Mine's got I think 135. Which doesn't sound nearly as much, but they're all really like intensive mods. They're like massive technology mods and overhauls and stuff. So it eats your RAM a little bit. And when I was streaming, I was constantly 100%. On the limiter. I was on 95 to 96% all the time. Like the page file that it sort of fell back on, where the RAM wasn't enough, hated me.
Yeah.
So I literally on Saturday went on Amazon, thought, okay, got 1632, sure. And then came the next day, popped the sticks in. Cheers, Corsair, you big boys. And here we are.
yeah, nice. Well, to be fair, like you said, like Minecraft is the test for a computer.
Absolutely, dude.
Some of the things I've seen, like people do on that, is absolutely ridiculous. I think shaders took me ages to be able to run. Like that's a tester. Yeah. That's a big tester. Like when I first ran shaders for the first time on Minecraft, oh my god, it took me ages. I haven't been on PC Minecraft in a while because it's such a different. You have to have. Yeah, it's hard to work. Like you can either buy the realm or you can have your own server, but because it's PC, you can make your own server. Yeah. What I'm trying to say is it's difficult to commit to PC Minecraft now that Minecraft's everywhere.
Yeah.
So where I'm going with that is like it's easier to just go on the Xbox Minecraft now and play that because you're basically playing the PC version.
Yeah.
But PC version, in my opinion, is so much better because it is where it started.
That split. It's that split.
Yeah. But I really do enjoy shaders, and it's just a shame that that's not on Xbox. And there's so many little things that I'm like, oh, wish it was, but. One day, I'm pretty sure they had something promoted back in like an E3 event when like the new Xbox
they had like
released.
the 4K pack. They had like
but that never came out. Or am I going crazy?
To my knowledge, it never happened for like the Bedrock. There was like that it wasn't shaders. I think it was just like a resource pack, like a high def resource pack. But even so.
But I remember that like it was yesterday, and I just haven't heard anything about it. I'm like. Is it happening?
Yeah.
Are they making a 4K shaders official version of Minecraft?
If not for them, then definitely for the new consoles. The new consoles are gonna.
Well, that's hopefully to work into in the future. Like I look forward to that. But shaders, like I said, when I first got it,
yeah, it's good we bring up Minecraft because it's we're coining this, right? I'm calling it the Minecraft paradox because it can simultaneously run on everything and yet run on nothing. It's like you can the fact that it's on the Switch,
it's
the fact
amazing.
it was on the 360. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was a Wii port in consideration at one stage, although that could be me just completely spitballing. But I feel like there was a Wii port in talks at least. The fact that it can get on all these consoles and then at the same time, bring everything to its knees.
There was a web browser version at one point. Like you could play. Like very beta version of Minecraft just on a web browser through the Minecraft website. They've took that. I think they've taken it down now.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, they would have now.
Yeah, but that was a thing. They did that.
That's insane.
I remember. I remember had this like, this was the first time I ever discovered Minecraft. But like, I mean, it was my brother's laptop, and he wanted to get it going, and he had this old Toshiba. Like, today's standards, it would be just, not even worth opening up. Like, it'd take an hour to turn on probably.
Yeah.
But like, that just about ran it. But it ran it. You could play it. My brother played it,
Yeah.
And it was just on this laptop. Yeah, it is crazy. Most of the time I played it has been on a PC, sorry, laptop. And to that, like, it's actually it struggled with. I could never run because one of my favorite text packs is Facts, and that always capped out at like, I think I just about ran 128. I
swear most people ran 64 anyway. Like, a lot of people at the time ran 64.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, once you get above 64, you don't really notice it, but it's just like knowing that it's the best it can be.
It's like it's the spicy version.
That's it. And
then if you had Specs 512, it's just okay. All right, now you're just flexing.
Yeah, when you get some of those, have you seen some of those like ultra realistic ones?
Dude,
they're just,
it's like the ray tracing shaders and stuff. It's insane.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolute insanity.
Someone like there's like actually there's that mod where it's there's no blocks, so it like completely defeats the point of Minecraft. But
it's like,
have you seen it? It's just awful. It's just weird.
I hate it.
So weird.
I hate it
like,
so much.
How it's not possible to play.
No, it works for caves, and that's about it. The minute you try to break into the ground, you realize, wait, I'm breaking a square, and it's forming a dimple.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's like you break his way. It's like you don't really know where the squares are, obviously, but like you can't really work out where the cubes are. So like, how are you meant to actually productively get things done?
What do I do here?
It's ridiculous. But the fact that someone's done it, there's also someone that's trying to recreate like the entirety of the world on Minecraft, and it's like you did this. Have you seen that video?
I've heard about it. I've heard about it.
The first video is the coolest because it's like this massive, like, dramatic sort of Our Planet sort of like documentary styled like introduction to what he wants to do, and it is cool. I haven't kept up to it in a while, but he had like a massive Discord chat, and it was just this solo project that he was like, "You know what? Let's see if I can get it done." And like people were like recreating to scale Berlin. It did all these maths to work out exactly how many blocks. Mental stuff, but
dude,
I don't know. I haven't updated myself on it in a while, but that was something to experience watching during the darkness of last year.
Yeah,
but it was good. It was an interesting video. But yeah, the world of Minecraft and to be fair, didn't it? It blew up again, didn't it? Like it plummeted for ages.
What, as in Minecraft as a whole?
Yeah, like it had such a massive rise in popularity.
Minecraft was always popular, but then it just sort of went stratospheric at one point.
Yeah, no, that's it. And then like during obviously the events of last year, it just sort of skyrocketed, like completely out of the blue. I think people weren't even like, monkey see, monkey do. Everyone just it became one of the most popular games again, I think. Yeah. And it's just sick. Like, rightly so, because they've done so much justice to it, I think. I sort of feel a bit bad for Notch because he's...
he kind of he didn't exactly luck out with that one.
No, I saw something on my YouTube where it was like basically saying like the great but sad like truth to Notch or whatever, and it's just like how he bought. So I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming it's like how he's obviously been bought out, and now he's just he's got his money, but Minecraft made so much more.
I won, but at what cost?
Yeah, literally, like it's like George Lucas, he gets all, but he gets a lot more than that. Obviously, George Lucas does loads.
Yeah,
he gets every merchandise and everything, but
he still does.
He still owns it.
Yeah.
Considering he doesn't do anything, he owns a lot of Star Wars stuff. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, Notch sort of sadness.
Sad boys. F in the chat for my
sad
boy.
Boys out. F in the chat. Oh.
Weirdly enough, you reminded me of something. Like as we were talking about Minecraft, like how it can run on everything and how it can run on Switch in particular. What are your thoughts on the new Switch? Have you seen it?
What? They're making a new Switch? No. No, explain it. What's this new Switch?
No. Essentially, to cut a long story short, like everyone's like the Switch discourse, if you will, is up in it's like there's a bit of commotion right now because they essentially released a Switch refresh. So it's a slightly bigger screen, it's OLED instead of, I think it was LCD or before. But yes, they switched to a slightly bigger OLED screen. They've got a new dock that I think fixes the scratching issue, and plus it has like Ethernet built into the dock now. Which, fun fact, that's actually the first time Nintendo's natively supported Ethernet on a console of theirs. This is the first freaking time. Yeah. Every time you've had to use an adapter or a dongle or something like that, this is the first time. And it's not even access technically, like it's a dock, so it's technically an accessory, so it's only half a point. But yeah, so new charging dock, new screen, bigger like kickstand, and I think new speakers. And it's like a slight premium over the original. Like I think it was like a 50 quid premium over the original. And the discourse, the whole discourse surrounding it. I mean, my take on it is, if you have a Switch already, there's no point. That's obvious. That's a given. But if you haven't got one, is that
sort of similar? Yeah, this would be the one to go
are identical. For. The internals are identical.
Yeah. Okay, similar to the Xbox stuff then, really, and the PS4, because
Sort of. They still had like technical. Are we talking about like just when they refreshed the console in itself, like with the PS4, or are we talking when they had the upgrade, like with the One S? Because the internals are exactly the same. It's literally just a new screen and some other quality of life bits. Like
I think it's on the same level. I think they're taking that approach because that's what I felt. Series X sort of did, and sort of maybe the PS5. I haven't really experienced it, but having the Series X first-hand experience, it is. I could have waited, pretty much. I think because you're not unless you have the 4K TV, unless you have the games that are supported, you're not really benefiting from the Series X. It's like the dashboard and everything's the same, and I'm wondering if that's the same approach that they're going to go for. The dashboard being the same, the layout being the same. It's just like higher specs.
I mean, like, the discourse over like the Switch, like the rumored Switch Pro, which is like the all singing, all dancing 4K version that people have been clamoring for. That's what people expected, I think, when they were expecting a Switch announcement, and I think that's why some people are getting butthurt, because they were waiting for this Switch Pro, like this so-called Halo upgrade to the Switch. But my point still stands. It's like, if you wanted a Switch, like there's almost a no-brainer to go for this version, because I think in time anyway that they're either going to discount it to the price of the vanilla version, or they're going to cut the vanilla version entirely and just have that be the de facto version within a few months.
Yeah, interesting. No, I haven't heard anything about it. Was it announced on the channel? Like, I have no idea.
I think it was on Nintendo of America. Like they made a proper announcement about it, but it's mostly been doing the rounds on Twitter more than anything. Like in terms of the big argument.
Twitter usually take everything.
Twitter
trending.
Will be Twitter.
What's trending on Twitter?
What's trending, and Nintendo. How can I argue about it?
But that's interesting, though, to be fair. And I guess if I had to have opinion, say I knew about it, if it's heading down the same route as the Series X, exactly as you said, like, if you have the original one, keep the original one. If you haven't got the original one, maybe get this one, just because you benefit better from it, really. So but that is interesting very much,
because at least in terms of being portable, it's a lot better just by the screen alone.
Do you think Nintendo would go like 4K? Do you think they're worthy of going down that route? Do you think they have the games needed to go down that route?
I mean, they technically can do it. All right, nerd out time. You have been warned.
Ooh.
But so they've got NVIDIA chipsets inside them, right? And one of NVIDIA's technologies is called DLSS, which is essentially like a super sampling technique where they can take sort of a base resolution. They've been trialing it on PC to like mixed success, but they've really got it down now. And I mean like 1080p base, right? And they've used this DLSS tech to upscale it to 4K. And it's so close to native, it's almost uncanny. Like you could, I think this was actually a Linus Tech Tips video, I think, that I watched a while ago. Is that you can put the native 4K and the DLSS 4K side by side, and you'd struggle to tell the difference unless you knew what you were looking for.
Really? Jesus.
So if I think they were going to go with a Switch Pro with this 4K, like all singing, all dancing, bells and whistles, vertical takeoff, then I think that's the approach they would take. It will obviously be more powerful,
of course,
but I think they would like retool that technology to run essentially a lower base resolution. So it'll be like 1080p 60 FPS, let's say. That's what the raw specs are capable of, which, mind you, that's not that much of a technical leap over the current Switch, because most of the time it's doing like 720p 30 or 1080p 30 or like some games like Mario Kart you get 1080 60.
True.
So it'll be, let's say, like minor upgrade to 1080 60 locked. So like most scenarios it's 1080 60 locked, or 1080 30 or 720 60 locked. So it's like you don't get the drops like in Breath of the Wild. And then they use that tech to upscale it to, let's say, like 1440p or 4K if you're on docked mode. I do see that happening. Like they've invested so much into that tech, and obviously Nintendo has their chipsets in them. It's like they could retool that tech. They can do it on a technical level. They can do it. It's just a case of whether it makes sense business wise, because the Switch is already a massively selling console.
100%. Like it still sells now. You know, it's got. They mastered the best of both worlds. Like you have to give them so much credit for that. Like to have it handheld, even though the battery's like dead, you're better off docking it. At least the first edition, that's the one I have.
As an esteemed Switch owner, your take.
My take on an esteemed Switch owner, the battery doesn't last long on the older consoles. And obviously now you're more likely to dock it, but with the better battery one, having it just be able to go downstairs and play it, you know, or just play it generally as a tablet, and then actually, screw it, I want to play it on TV, knowing that it's charging, knowing that you're just playing it straight up, is it's game changer. It has been for ages now.
And I think we touched on it before. It's like
definitely one of the first episodes.
Yeah, it's like Nintendo sort of married that perfect balance of being portable and being a home console.
Definitely.
It's like they experimented with things like the Wii U, but they got it down, and it shows.
They got it down, and no wonder Skyrim wanted to jump on the bandwagon. Like
Skyrim's on everything. Like, it's on a goddamn fridge, George. It's on a fridge.
It is. I've played it. No.
Wait, you got this fridge?
No, it is on everything. Oh yeah. I've got a fridge that plays. Yeah, you could play Skyrim on like a Tesla. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can.
Like, that's even possible.
You can play Skyrim. I think Skyrim is becoming the new Can It Run Doom, if you know what I mean.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Skyrim and Minecraft, kind of like we said earlier, has become the new sort of like a synonym for Can It Run Doom. Because if you've got Skyrim on your platform, then you know it's a legitimate platform, if you know what I mean.
100%. Oh yeah. Like you said, Doom. Like Doom has Game Boy ports. Like there's official release Doom.
Test.
It is. I've seen it. No, but like for sure, like, it's one of those things that makes a lot of sense. Like, what consoles can it run on? Can we experiment? Can we get it working on every console? And I don't know when Elder Scrolls 6 will come out, but just keep dishing out Skyrim. It'll be all right.
Yeah. It's like, but that just reminds me of a beautiful meme I saw. It was to do with GTA though. It's like the PS2 had 3 GTAs for one console, and now we've got one GTA for 3 consoles.
100%.
Because
you know
it's
what?
gone
That's
PS3,
commitment.
PS4, PS5, and it's just.
Oh yeah.
I have a bone to pick, but it's poetic. That meme is poetic.
Oh mate, that I could go. That speaks so much truth. I could go on about the GTA issues for ages, but that's a wormhole or a can of worms we don't really want to open.
We'll be here for 4 hours. We'll be here for 4 hours, and I've never edited this before my holiday.
This would be a 24-hour live stream. This is what that will be if we want to do that, honestly.
We need to do this live. I think that would be so much
That would
fun.
be a good idea. That would be really interesting. Just like straight off the cut, like no editing, straight in.
I think that would be
face
a lot
cams,
of fun.
no face cams, but like
I'd make it work. I'll pull some magic.
Yeah, I think we could do that. I don't know why not. Write that down. Let's write
that down. Write that down.
Write that down quick. That is a good idea. Like a non-edited live stream of whatever this is, whatever we do, whatever we do best.
that would be a lot of fun. But
that would be decent.
It's like talking about that revised Switch has got me thinking. In hindsight. I hate it. Like, I really hate the concept of those, like, midlife refreshes for consoles. So, like, what we saw with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One S and the Xbox One S. It's like, let me try and rationalize it for you. It's like, they were wanting to put an upgrade. They were wanting to improve their current consoles. But they haven't got the balls to commit to a full upgrade. That's what it said to me.
Right.
So... Because the problem is twofold. Because the people who bought the OG are going to be teed off. Because obviously, like, they've got what is now an inferior console. And they just thought, oh, well, if they're going to release this better one, then what's the point? And then on the flip side, it's like they get the developer side of things, which is great. Now we've got consoles, because consoles are renowned for being this sort of like one size fits all platform. It's like really well optimized. It's why you see, like, you never get a problem with a console game. You always get the problems with the PC ports, if that makes sense. I mean, look at the Arkham games. If you need a bad example, look at the Arkham games.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like great on console experience, but if you wanted to go on PC,
beautiful.
You're better off getting a lobotomy, mate. Honestly, you'll have more fun.
Yeah, no, my brother had it, and like because he's always been the better PC gamer, he had it, and I was like, Jack, when I was younger, I was like, oh, can I go on your PC? And he was like, oh, fine. So I went on it, and I saw Arkham. I was like, oh my god, I played that on console. I bet it's really good. No, it's not.
No.
It struggled.
No,
and it didn't have a bad PC. It just couldn't. It was so laggy. Like, you know how on the arcades it goes all slow motion when you're punching. I don't know if it ever was. It was always slow motion.
It felt like it anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So I
don't know
so
what that
many
means.
frames. I had to check the game.
Yeah,
speed.
literally, that is some first-hand experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, it's like the problem that creates with those sort of midlife refreshes is the segmentation you're trying to avoid with PC is now on console. So it's like, great. Now I've got to optimize for the original console, which kind of kneecaps me because I want to add this technology, but it's only supported on the new, the refreshes, etc. And it's just, it's like, it's a mess. I'm sure that they had some sort of framework, because obviously, like, they're still in the same console family. So it's like with the 1S to the 1X and the 1, you had like simple like resolution or frame rate advancements. I think there was probably a framework of sorts in place to say, okay, it's like developed to this point, and to a degree the system will handle a lot of the rest. But even it's like the problem still stands, because that's the same problem you get with different specs of PCs. That's
it. They I don't know, because I didn't really watch this. Is sort of on the sort of similar to what you're saying, but like I remember watching E3 when they released the Series X properly. But I know at one point, I'm pretty sure if they did say anything, they weren't going to make like console like optimized exclusives. Like they were going to try and do the best to make it all the Xbox One doesn't get forgotten about.
Yeah, to keep the parity between them.
Yeah, but they're already forgetting about the Xbox One. Like Flight Sim's coming out. We know that's not going to be able to run on the Xbox One, so it's an Xbox Series X exclusive to run on other than PC, because that's where it started. But like, it's just a shame because it's like not everyone's ready yet, and you're sort of making it so they have to be. Your whole thing, I think, was to keep everything connected, but no, it's getting difficult to run games even on the consoles, which is interesting.
Yeah, it's like that sort of comes back to what I said earlier about sort of kneecapping developers because they have to keep the older consoles in mind. It's like, I get with Flight Sim, I get it, because it's an intense game. Like, even the most powerful PCs in today's age with the latest tech,
and the Series X won't even be able
sometimes.
to run it. The Series X isn't going to be able to run it at its full capacity. Like a PC is only capable of doing that.
Yeah.
If you can.
It's like only the highest of the high spec PCs can run it at 60 FPS. Just put that in perspective. That's considered like a staple that's considered a staple frame rate, and that's like the upper bound for Flight Sim. So I get it. They can't run on the Xbox One. That's not viable. That's just the march of time. That's how that works. But at the same time, it's like kind of with the optimizations for the Xbox One family, it's that you, like, if you want a technological upgrade, just commit to a new console. Like, we'd much rather wait, commit to a new console, and then you can properly execute on that vision. It's like where you've got a lot of in-between games. Like, I think, like, I'm not going to throw too much shade, but I think Horizon 4 was severely kneecapped in what it could have been just by the fact that the time it was released. It's like, I could tell, when they introduced seasons and stuff like that, and trying to balance all of the different consoles. So it's like you had, I think, 1080 is like 1080-30 on the Xbox One, same deal again, but with HDR on the One S, and then optionally you can get higher resolution or 60 frames on the One X. And I just feel like it's like, with that much variability, at what point is it better to just say, just get a budget PC? And it's like it's almost becoming a PC like experience.
No, that's a fair point, mate. Yeah, no, it is. It's such a weird world, like, with that. Like, it just.
Yeah, it's not an easy one to answer.
I know exactly
really
how you mean.
No, it's like rock and a hard place type deal.
Definitely, no, I agree to that. Like, and like, for example, it's like with like my friend, like she said, like, on several occasions, she's like really annoyed because she can't play Flight Sim, and like she's like, why are all these exclusives coming out? Like, I can't get the Xbox Series X yet and stuff like that. It's like, but we can still play with certain other games, but it's like they are really pushing some titles, and it's just, it must be frustrating. It is frustrating. Obviously, it is.
Yeah.
No, it's such a bizarre split, and it happened with the 360 as well. But I think they did that slower. That was quite a slow burner before it took them about, I want to say, a year and a half before people started to really think, oh, actually the 360's being forgotten again, you know.
Mind you, that being said, is like that generation, so from like Xbox to Xbox 360, PS2 to PS3, etc., that was a lot more subtle of a generational jump.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's like their main selling point at the time was nothing more than the same games, except instead of 480p, you can run them at 720p widescreen. That was the main selling point. That was it. Simple as that.
And it sort of did it within the same sort of time where TVs were changing as well. Yeah. Like, naturally, you know, oh, mummy and daddy's got a new TV, that the best Sony TV is still, the bezel's a bit big, the back's a bit large, but it's widescreen, it's big, it's 1080, it's LCD, not, you know, whatever. Yeah. So they did it at that time. It's sort of natural progression. But here, nothing's new. 4K is not new. Like, if you've got a 4K TV, it's probably the main one that you're using. If you don't, you're gonna have to, like, do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just how it is. Like, but it is. They did it. They did it. It happened at a better time. Let's say. You know.
Yeah, but it's like I look on those older consoles and it's like I go back to games like Pro Street, Need for Speed Pro Street, and they're identical games. The only difference literally is the resolution and like a couple more graphical effects here and there. So like there was extra tire smoke, there was like much better lighting, there was obviously the widescreen support, 720p, and then I look at like the 360 to the one, and I think of Forza Horizon 2, and how much that game made me want to die. Because on the 360, it was like a port of it was basically Horizon 1's engine, sort of hack jobbed by a third-party studio, Sumo Digital. And no disrespect to them, they've made some fun games. I mean, I think they made the Sonic kart racing series.
Oh wow!
I think they were the guys behind
game.
it, and actually they made the new Sonic kart racing. So I think that's true. I think they've made. They made all the Sonic kart racing games, so they can make good games.
There you go.
They can make good-looking games as well.
Yeah.
They were given the Forza engine, like from Horizon 1, and were just said like, right, just make it look like Horizon 2, and they did the best that they could. But oh my god, it was the worst racing game I had ever played. Honestly, that's saying something. Man. But you got to have your duds though. But it's like seeing that from such a big franchise. It just goes to show it's like that transitioning between generations is like they did it smoother before.
They definitely did it smoother.
And I'd even argue that it's like some of the PS2 games were superior to their next gen counterparts. It's like Burnout Revenge is an iconic example. It's like the PS2 version had not only like I think it had like 50 hertz or 60 hertz support, so you could like actively switch to a higher frame rate. But not only that, but the PS2 version actually was better. It's like it wasn't better graphically. It wasn't better graphically. But it's like the 360 version, they messed around with like the colors and they added like loads of blue.
I
there
played
were sounds missing, and it's like
I played the 360 version, and there is it just doesn't feel it's cool, it's nostalgia, but it doesn't feel the same. There is something off. And now that you mention it, it's like that sounds about right.
It's like I'd hear it's like little chimes, so it's like when you leveled your skill in the game, it's like when you were doing loads of stunts and you went, okay, good, great, awesome, you get a little jingle on the PS2 version, and then when you don't hear it on the 360 version, you think it's like,
that's right,
there's something there.
That's true. Yeah, and even with certain sounds and that, like you said, like I have had it where I played the classic like Carnage mode or whatever it's called, where you just cause Rampage in traffic. Road Rage, so and all the explosions are happening. You just get so many silent explosions.
Mode,
Crash mode, sorry, Crash mode. You get so many silent explosions. You're sort of like, hold on a second. It just doesn't feel right. But
it's like you'd hear the guttural roar of the car just like detonating with the cars around it, and then just sometimes you just hear.
It feels a lot like a port, but it ruins it, man. It's just, it makes it feel a bit.
It can be hit or miss. Let's just hope that this generational leap is smoother than those. Let's just hope that this is better, because obviously we're still on the brink. And if there's anything games like Flight Sim, if there's anything games that Flight Sims have taught us, it's that no matter what happens, they're going to keep pushing forward. They're going to keep developing, and
that's it. They're literally.
Let's just hope that it's like the right jump. I want to say that sounds super vague and not really tangible.
No, for sure. No, that makes sense. No, I think hopefully this year could be the year that maybe I buy Farming Simulator for the first time ever.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That's pretty intense gameplay.
It's such weird how they keep managing to do
pull me back
Farming
in.
Sim and like they stay the same. Somehow I'm still intrigued each year and I never come around to buying it. But maybe this year, who knows?
Might be the one.
But no, they're definitely they have a good opportunity here, and hopefully they use it. Is what I think what I want to say to that. So
Yeah, I say now that the market's starting
Only time will tell.
Yeah, now the market's starting to stabilize again as well. Not to mention, it's like
that's it. Yeah, for sure.
We're starting to see the downturn of the silicon shortage, which is just, oh man.
Exactly. No, for sure.
Like, sight.
I remember saying to my mate, like seeing all the 100% optimized games on the store was beautiful. Like after E3, it's just like for so long you sort of got the concept. You're like, what did I just buy? Like there's no purpose. Like only a handful of games were optimized. They still, it wasn't enough. Which 100% we previously touched on.
Yeah,
and like. Now, just seeing all these games saying they're optimized is such a cool feeling because you're like, this is it. This is what it should have been.
Yeah.
And we're getting into that direction now, and it's just lovely. It's really nice.
Yeah, things like backwards compatibility as well. It just goes to show it's like it's in the right direction. Things are going well. Things are going well in that regard, and hopefully things will actually like consoles and GPUs and stuff will actually start getting into the hands of consumers because I think the main contributor is not the fact that not so much the fact that they're getting on top of the supply and demand, but the fact that things like China's cracking down on crypto now.
Okay. Yeah,
so
that's true.
What's happening is like people obviously people in China where they've had massive crypto mines, massive crypto rigs, they're essentially where the Chinese government is clamping down on crypto. Or like commercially traded crypto like Bitcoin and such, they are essentially just flogging off the GPUs. Like they're just flogging off the GPUs as quickly as they can, try and get as much a return on investment while the market is still in this bubble.
Yeah. That's fair enough. That like when it comes to crypto though, like that's an interesting environment.
Yeah, but. Finally, GPU prices are falling, and I couldn't be happier.
That's what you want. That is exactly what we want.
And
no, for sure.
I'm now happy to announce I'm below 900 in my queue for my graphics card. I can't believe I'm saying this. Oh, it's small victories.
What's the peak that's been at then? Like how
867 is my current position, and for the longest time it was stuck in the high 900s. And the lower thousands, but it's finally things are moving.
It's going down. That's exciting, man. That is exciting. I know how that feels. That is sick.
I think it's the frustrating thing of it's like I'm sure any like listeners or viewers who are like in the PC building space can sympathize with me here. I've got like the Halo PC, like all that I could ever want.
Right.
We're just like a graphics card shaped hole. It's there. It's like I've got this overkill CPU. I've got 32 gigs of RAM. I've got 10 terabytes of storage. I've got like Ethernet. I've got everything I could need. And then this is like I've got this 1660 Ti here. It's like it's a good card, but in relation to everything else, it's like it's just like that one component that's just missing. And knowing it's out there in the ether, it's like I've already paid for it. I prepaid for it, and I'm in the queue. So there's no turning back now.
Wow. So
it's just knowing that it's out there.
So even if you didn't want it, you have to have it. Yeah.
Oh no, I could still cancel and get a refund, but it's just like at this point, like I'd be paying a 600 quid premium, and even then, there's a very high chance that I'd be just getting it slower anyways. So
yeah.
It's like
that's so upsetting.
Having sunk that money into essentially the ether, and just having it out of my grasp. God,
that is gonna hurt. Yeah. But hey, like you said, it's going down. It is gonna be yours soon, mate. You just gotta wait a little longer.
It's going down, and boy, am I yelling timber.
Oh, 100%, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh god! Oh, that makes me miss Jackbox nights.
That makes 100%. Oh, Jackbox! What a game!
Yeah, random tangent. Best Jackbox game, in your honest opinion.
Ooh,
best Jackbox game. It can be any pack. It can be any it can be the sequels. Go on.
God, that's so difficult. I think straight in, easiest to play and easiest to get the grasp of is always got to be like the Quicklashes.
The Quicklash is the staple. Quiplash
is the staple. I think that's pretty much what made it. Like Jackbox 3 Quiplash. I think newly good game that I discovered that was quite fun is it's on the latest Jackbox, and it's called I think it's Joke Boat or something. It might not even be that.
Oh yeah, Joke Boat.
Is it Joke Boat? You got to make the stand-up lines.
Yeah, that's.
Let's just say I had some pipers. I'm not going to say them because I don't want anything to happen, but they were good and everyone appreciated them, and it's just. The creative control you have on that one is actually insane.
Yeah.
It doesn't write things for you properly. It gives you, if you get a good scenario and a good punchline, you've made it.
Yeah.
But definitely Quiplash and Fibbage. Quiplash and Fibbage are my top two. I wouldn't be able to split between them.
Yeah, it's definitely. You think Jackbox, you immediately think those two.
Yeah, I mean, Quiplash is its own game. To be fair, on Steam, I'm pretty sure you can just buy Quiplash as a thing. Yeah, I think so.
Just buy standalone.
I think so. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. And there was another one actually. Was it? Oh, it could have been. It might have been on Joke Boat, right? It might have been on Joke Boat on the CN6. But either way, is it Joke? Oh. Either way, it was on one of the mini games, the sort of the games that they had. And obviously, with Jackbox 6, there isn't any Quiplash. And we were playing it, and no one else understood how excited I got. I was like, "Oh my god, wow! Oh, that's so clever!" But there was a little there was a TV segment, they literally it went into a TV and it went, "Oh, screw it, let's have a quick game of Quiplash." So it brought the announcer in for Quiplash, and then you just had one round of Quiplash. And it was exactly Quiplash, and it was just crazy because no one else, the people I'm playing with, they don't with our friendship group we played Quiplash quite a lot, but with my other friendship group they don't. So me seeing Quiplash, I was like, "Oh my god, that's so clever! That's like a little Easter egg thing," and they were just like, "What?" I was like, "No, don't understand." But I appreciate the Quiplash, and if that doesn't prove that Jackbox's staple game is Quiplash, as they put it in another game, completely different game, then it says a lot. But definitely.
Yeah,
I'd
that's without a doubt. That's the poster game.
That's it. What about you? What you didn't?
I don't know.
Briefly said about it.
This one's a bit of a left field one, but have you ever played Trivia Murder Party?
I have played that one. I can't say I really understood it, if I'm honest.
It's I played it a few rounds with one of my friendship groups, and while I said that I didn't like it in the moment, and that might be just to the last phase, I really loved it. And you get trivia questions. Yeah. You get trivia questions, and if you got them wrong, you got taken to. I'm referring to the sequel.
I have played that.
Yeah, you got taken to the killing room.
I was thinking of a different one.
You have to do a mini game.
Yeah, and it's a pressure test. You have to answer it a mini game. That's it. That was the one, because that's where they did Quiplash.
Yeah,
that was the mini game.
I was literally about to say it's one of the killing room things.
No, I have
it's
played that
if
one.
you get two of you, it's the screen the room goes dark for a few seconds, and then you just see
it's
Quiplash
quite
pop up on this CRT,
really
and it's just.
It's creepy. It's alright. I have played that one, and
it is creepy.
Go back to what I said. I absolutely love that one. We were smashing that one. We had 10 rounds when we played it. It was so fun. And then you got that bit at the end, don't you, where you're being chased by the darkness, and you've got to answer the questions rapidly.
That's the only part that I found issue with, because it felt even if you absolutely dominated the round, you dominated the entire game, it felt like no matter what you did, it would hinge on that last part. So it's
for sure.
Everything. You could die first round, and you could still
win.
Yeah, and you could still win. It's even, and I don't know. I always prefer the more points based games, because it's it's Quiplash.
But I was gonna say the way the points made sense, because we were questioning what's the point in all the points then? But it wasn't it wasn't it
you get a head start, I think,
head start system? Yeah,
it's you get
that's all
the
it
top
was.
three get so it goes person who's alive, and then the top three move extra spaces at the start. But it's even then, everyone 4th to 8th, you could still pull it back. Although I do love about it is the Easter eggs. So it's if you got a specific game where you were given an item. So it's like, you get given like the murderer's mother's wig or something, or a knife, or like a time bomb where you had to answer the questions quickly enough. But if you you had 30 seconds on the clock, and you had like, it was cumulative. That's the thing. It's like you didn't have 30 seconds per round. You had 30 seconds to answer all of the remaining questions of the rest of the game until the final bit. So it's like you take it easy at the start, and then you get to like question 8, and you just think, shit, press it.
Press it. Yeah. No, for sure.
But then definitely. The other side of it is, if you made it out with that item, you got an Easter egg. Like, you've got a really cool Easter egg where you were like left on an operating table, and whoever had the item had to answer one final question if they got alive. I only know this because I only know this because in one of those games with my friendship group, one of the guys got a knife, and he coincidentally managed to make it out alive. Like, he nailed the final phase, even though he was like 4th or 5th, and nailed it. But we noticed something was a little curious. So it's like the credits rolled where everyone's like spreads for everyone who had died and how much money they had. It's like, hang on, it's not giving us an option to restart or go back to menu.
I did have that.
And it just cuts to this operating tape. It was just like, look, you've got the knife. You've got a knife. We suspect you. Unless you answer this question about an art degree, you're going to jail.
See, I think that the other thing with that is, like, for us, because that last segment was so tense. I like I said from before, when I was like, I don't know what game that you're talking about, but I do, and I know what Easter egg actually you are talking about, which is the operating one, because we have the exact same one. But the point of literally the intents of the last bit, like, my friends were literally like neck and neck for most of it, and it was crazy. We just gave up, like, but we were just so like, oh god. And then like that Easter egg bit came up, and we were sort of like, what's happening? What's happening? Let's just restart. But yeah, no, definitely it's probably in recent affairs one of the funnest Jackbox games I played recently, because I always find myself going back to Quiplash and Fibbage and stuff like that. But definitely one of the funnest.
But I love Trivia Murder Party just for like this is gonna sound really dumb considering it's a Jackbox game, but the amount of depth it has. So it's like the questions, like all the different mini games were really creative, and like you got to 10 questions, and if there was more than one of you in live, you had like a final challenge, like lock and key, where you had to pick the right key to be the last one to get out.
That's it. I remember that one.
Where it's basically just game speak for, okay, you've done too good, and we were kind of at a win condition, so we need all of you to die by one.
Yeah, exactly. No, it really, like, when it comes to some of the best experiences that I've had socially, it's because of like a Jackbox game and stuff like that. Definitely. Big shout out to the friend that bought them all for me, who we don't talk to anymore.
But all right, let's flip it on its head now. What do you think is the worst Jackbox game? It's easy to say the best. It's easy to say the best because that, like, let's be honest, like, there's no context.
Okay,
but
true. I think.
What's the worst?
And I don't know if you remember this one, but when we've played it, do you remember when we attempted the social? It's like that social media one where you've got to like write on behalf of someone. It's this really stupid online one that
Survive the Internet.
Make any sense. Yeah.
I actually really like that one. I didn't
understand it. So
you have to play it right. It's one of those games you have to play it right in order to have fun with it. It's like Survive the Internet. Okay. So yeah, it's like where you'd get a prompt and then someone else would be passed your response and be told to make the prompt super funny. It's like you all had to be on the same wavelength for that to be fun.
Right, because I think when we attempted it, no one understood it.
Yeah.
So I just never went back to it. Maybe it's something I need to go back to. Definitely. Okay. But I'd say from my experience, that was probably the worst one. I just didn't know what I was doing.
No, I think the worst for me has to be, well, it's 2 games actually. The first one is, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like the sound-based one. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I know the one you're on about. I have no idea what it's called. Earwax. Yeah. I quite like that one.
I don't know. I didn't like it just because there's like some of the prompts were just like, I can't use this. Like, I can't use this. True. I can't make anything out of it.
To be fair, when you say it, I do think with Earwax, it's like it's funny for the shock the first time round, like the noises, but when you start to get the same noises and the same prompts, it's a bit like,
I think that's what like
there's only so many times it could say like, the prompt, let's say, is like grandma falling, and you just hear a noise.
Yeah, it's like, once that initial gimmick wears off, a bit boring.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, actually, I think the weakest, if you were to say, not the worst, but for me, if I had to say the weakest in replayability, Earwax actually is up there. That's completely fair.
And the other one is Push the Button.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Don't think I played it.
Think Jackbox version of Among Us.
Oh God.
So it's like
right.
Yeah, it's like you had. Out of this like 8 or 9 space crew, or like 7 or 8 space crew, you'd have 2 or 3 aliens in that crew.
Okay.
And through things like, so it's like you'd be asked to give an opinion on something, but the alien would have a different prompt. But then there was also like hacks the alien could use, so that they could either give another alien a human prompt or give a human an alien prompt.
Yeah.
But and then it's like things like the drawing deck, and then there was like a bioscanner mechanic where only one person knew.
It was definitely based off Among Us, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
that sounds too suspicious. But go on.
I can't say to either because I don't know which came first. But either way, enough. It's like it's such, in the time that I played it, it was so just messy. Like, we understood how it worked, but it was so messy, and it's like, I will hold this point until I die. The only reason that we got a successful game out of it is because my mate next to me was screen watching my phone and saw that I had different prompts and deduced that I was an alien.
Wow.
That's literally the only time we got a successful game out of it.
What made it not work? Like, how come it didn't work? Like,
I think it was just like there was too much going on. So it's like it was segmented, to be fair. It's like you had your clearly defined sort of places where you could go. It's like if you wanted the drawing prompt, if you wanted the opinion prompt, if you wanted like other bits, and like the bioscanner and such. But the thing is, it got so messy, I want to say, because it's like,
that sounds right. That makes sense.
You grab like 2 or 3 people to do these prompts, so like trying to keep track of it all, and like putting your suspicions on, it's like, because you could vote at the end of each round to put suspicion on who you think's an alien, not even think like confirm who's like an alien or anything. It's like, but who's suspicious. It just got really, you have to really like be on it, and I feel like that sort of killed the fun of it. Plus, it's like you only get one chance to push the button and eject. You only get one chance. So it's like, by the time that it's like the timer runs down, it just becomes, it's like, okay, let's keep playing games. Oh shit, we have 30 seconds. Everyone push the button in succession. And it was a messy ordeal. It was a messy ordeal.
Yeah,
there's definitely
that doesn't
better games.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm probably not doing it justice either in my description, but that's just my experience of it.
No, that's fair. I'll look out for it, and I'll give it a go with some mates and see what. But doesn't. It just sounds a bit too sus to play properly. But yeah, no, that doesn't. It just sounds a bit too copycat for it to, and it's trying to be its own party game version of Among Us, but doesn't work. But it could be the other way around. Maybe Among Us took that and did it better.
I don't know who came first, so I can't say either way.
No, exactly. But
having played Among Us, at least it does feel like going back to push the button definitely has skewed my perception of it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Although Among Us has completely died now.
I was gonna say that it has dropped off.
It's completely dropped off.
It's so weird. And I think it had its time. It's still playable, but they kept it. They longed out the DLC stuff for so long that people just got bored of doing the same map. Like, let's be honest, no one did the other map, did they? Like, you kept to the spaceship. The original, I think, for a lot of time, the original spaceship. At least we did when I played it with my friends. And it does get boring. You can only beat out the horse out of it, for so long before it's sort of like, what's going on, that you even start to work out the way people play. And like, he's being, and it's like, you learn the strat. He's
not in his normal spot. He's not doing his normal route.
Something's up. That's it. Yeah, exactly. So you start to work out. But some of the funnest times for sure. But it definitely had its time.
I think its main problem was that it got this massive surge of hype, but because obviously it's like a tiny indie studio, they couldn't capitalize on it. Because it's like, when you're in that situation, you're faced with a tough choice. Obviously, you get like a massive income because like millions upon millions of people suddenly are buying your game, and so you're faced with this almost ultimatum. It's like, expand to handle the growth, or burn out, like, or you just like flat out disappear. And they tried to do both. Like, to their credit, Inner Sloth, like, they did whatever they could. Like, they were hiring more people on the team. They were trying to fix all of the game's problems literally as soon as they could. It's like they added an account system. They added obviously the new maps, like other stuff like that. And it's a case of, it was so explosive, and you combine the fact with like people's sort of, I don't want to say attention spans, but like the limelight on the game, or just in general on things like Twitch, it's like it switches around so fast. I mean, it's like you had Fortnite, you had Minecraft, you had Among Us, you had all of the rest of those kinds of games. I mean, like, it's like, you remember when PUBG absolutely exploded, and then
they started the battle royale stuff.
And the fact that you took a second to remember that says it all, really. Like that's fully indicative. It's like, either you step up to the plate in a big way, completely overhaul everything to sort of meet this demand, and even then it's not guaranteed. So do you take that gamble, or do you work within your remit and risk losing like everything?
No, it's true. And do you think, though, saying like sort of about Among Us dipping, do you think it coming to console will like fluctuate it again, or do you think it's going to sort of stay about the same?
Because
it is going to come to console.
Not in the same way. It's like, it'll get a boost, sure, because obviously more platforms is always a good thing, but it won't see the kind of blowout success that it got initially. Like, it won't suddenly have a resurgence. It'll just be, it's available on another platform now.
Let's give it another go again.
Let's give it another go, or all my mates on Xbox can join me now. And so you get a little bit more mileage out of it already, but it's not going to get a massive influx of new players.
In a way, like the damage is done. Like, people have played absolute crap out of it, and now it's sort of
people want to move on to the next thing. It's not as fun as it
used to be. It's a shame.
It's like that's the harsh reality of it, though. It's the like, people had their time with it, they enjoyed it, they got their success from it as well. Not to mention, imagine the amount of money they would have made. But
100%.
It's neither.
I think it's taken the Five Nights at Freddy approach, I think, in its own way. You've got all this fan stuff, like, right, I don't know if you can see, working out the camera. Basically, that book there, right there, is a Five Nights at Freddy's book that I've been reading. The sort of canon based on that, and that all started from that lore. It's just sort of like a story based upon the idea of, written by Scott Cothram, whatever his name is. And he created this little indie game, and now you've got all these spin-off games that have nothing to do with Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's like its own thing. And that's exactly the same thing that's happened with Among Us. Like, there's these horror spin-offs where I think Markiplier played one way. It was literally like, you do all the tasks in first person, but there's the imposters just chasing you down, and just jump scares and stuff like that.
It's like, there was fan games, there was mods, all sorts.
And I can definitely see it taking that approach where people create their own versions of, like, Among Us. How crazy would it be? Because obviously, when you think of Among Us, you think, well, for me, when I thought of Among Us, I think exactly what it's based on, which has to be, no doubt, The Thing. like the John Carpenter's The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like how crazy it would be if somewhere down the line someone makes like a sort of very similar way it plays, but you got like the characters or something from The Thing and stuff, and it's all very based around that sort of vibe because that's where it started from, or something like that. It just, the creative control that Among Us has provided with the concept of the idea, I think is great.
Yeah,
and I could definitely see it taking Five Nights at Freddy's route. For sure.
I mean,
without a doubt.
Mods and things like that, they always extend the life of a game. Like, even when the developers sort of long since abandoned it, it's often like the mod projects. I mean, this isn't quite comparable, but Need for Speed, latest Need for Speed, Heat. It's like the game.
Okay.
The BAME, yes. The game essentially got 2 DLC cars, and then they got abandoned. Like, the game got completely abandoned because EA pulled the plug on the studio.
That's quite... Isn't quite a recent one, Heat?
Yeah, Heat was recent. That's the latest installment. And it was actually one of the best in the modern era.
Wow.
And
they hyped it a lot, though.
Yeah, they hyped it a lot, and then it got one DLC, which was just 2 cars, and then EA pulled the plug on the studio. And,
that's such a shame.
But it's been kept alive thanks to the community and the modding efforts. So it's like you've got the Heat Plus mod, which is like kind of like Vanilla Plus to Minecraft, if that makes sense. Then you've got Unite, which is like a complete visual overhaul. You've got handling mods. You've got CMI swaps, which is like crazy body kits and stuff. It's all sorts. It's insane.
It's amazing.
The community's
that is amazing. Is that PC only though?
Yeah, that's the only caveat. It's like PC only. But
it's the same.
That's part of the course with mods, though.
Yeah. That's the same with the Simpsons Hit and Run. I think, as we previously mentioned, possibly. But that was it like donut mods? Like the community behind that, man. Beautiful stuff. Like you've kept that game going.
The multiplayer. It's like the multiplayer world still sees play, which is insane to me.
That's it, and it's just. The community it always keep the game alive. Like you had that Left 4 Dead game as well, where I'm not even talking about the spiritual successor that was a hyper focus last year's brilliant of last week's episode or a couple of weeks, but like Left 4 Dead had a DLC release that was entirely community built.
Yeah, The Last Stand.
The Last Stand. The community built that.
That was brilliant.
But it got an official release from Valve.
I think that's the way to do it. If you want to add features, man. I think that's like the perfect way to do it, because Bethesda tried their hand with like paid mods and nonsense like that. And obviously that didn't go down well. But I think if you want the community directly involved with the development of the game, that's like the perfect way to do it. It's like have the community curated contact. Like have the content, have the contact in the community, and have the humility almost to say, it's like, hey, random person in the community, we really love your work. Can we incorporate this into vanilla?
That's it. But that's the thing, like the community know it best.
And like any community member in it for the right reasons will like jump at the chance to work officially.
100%.
That's all they want, because at the end of the day, most mods stem from what they want to see in the game.
Community idea.
That's literally the idea of mods.
Exactly. It modifies it. It makes it better or worse, but still, 9 times out of 10 it makes it better.
Troll mods are so much fun.
They are something, like, they do exist, and it's very bizarre. But no, definitely, like you say, though, the community makes it best. That's it. As simple as that, I think.
It's like how this podcast is a troll spin-off mod to every tech podcast that's on YouTube. Anyway.
It's what, huh? What do you mean?
So massive thanks for coming on. Massive thanks for coming on tonight, George. Any closing thoughts? It's like Switch, Jackbox, mods, anything. Any closing thoughts?
Give me some ideas now instead of just no.
No.
But I think, I definitely... any closing thoughts? My closing thoughts would sort of be like, that I hope that the communities do still contribute towards the games and keep them alive, because games naturally will die out if the community doesn't keep it going. And I'm just intrigued, and hopefully Among Us becomes the new sort of Five Nights at Freddy vibe, where people keep creating and keep moving the game forward and making it better. It's quite an exciting time, I think. What about you? What would you say if you had to say?
I kind of echo similar sentiments. It's like, there's no there's no community without the game, and there's no game without the community. It's
That's
like
it.
they've got a codependent relationship in that regard. So
they do.
Like,
they have to. Naturally, we're the consumer.
Yeah, so, but it's like I think like developers should take a more open approach to work with the community, because that's where the greatest, that's where the best games and the best ideas flourish, and you get beautiful stuff like The Last Stand for Left 4 Dead. And
and stuff like that. Perfect.
Heat Unite 3.0, which is coming out soon, and I can't wait to play.
There we go. You have to let me know about how that is, because I see Heat's on the Xbox, but I've just not played it. Like, is it worth it?
I'll let you know. But for now, I'm gonna go edit this, and then I'm gonna go on holiday. So I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks.
Enjoy that.
Ta-ta for now.
All the best, guys. Bye.